Hello guys, you are welcome to the GMAT 41's YouTube channel. In this video lesson, I am going to give attention to the second section of Module 1 of Unizik's Elementary Mathematics Workbook, Math 101 Workbook. Here on the board, we have our next question because this is a continuation of Section 1, alright? That's the first part of Module 1. So this question number 8, we are to express log 75 over 16 minus 2 log 5 over 9 plus log 32 over 243 in terms of log 2. That is what we are required to do according to the workbook. So let us see how we solve this problem. This problem clearly, as you can see, is extracted from logarithm without table. So we are going to solve this and see how we go about it. We are to express this in log 2. So the final answer we expected to get is log 2. Then in your workbook, you have empty boxes to fill up. So we're going to do that and see what we would get. Now, starting up from the workbook, we are reminded that n log n, that is n times log m, is equal to log n raised to the power of n. And that, of course, is true using power law of logarithm. Okay, so we can apply that quickly to this part of the logarithmic expression given to us, so that in the startup of what you have in your manual, equal to log 75 all over 16 minus box plus log 32 all over 243. So what is expected to be in the box? Going from this, as we solve, we have log 75 over 16. Okay, let me copy this out. So this is going to be equal to, using our law of logarithm here, power law of logarithm, because this part in the next step, you're expected to fill it in the space provided. So this is going to give us, okay, so we have equal to, according to the manual, the first step, then log 75 all over 16, which is this, maintained. Then minus, this 2 is going to be taken to become power of this number, because this is log of the number 5 over 9. The log is multiplied by 2, so this 2 will become power of this number using power law of logarithm, which simply means that in the space provided, you are expected to fill in log 5 over 9, then in bracket raised to the power 2. We now have plus log 32 over 243. Good. So you are expected, please, to fill in this part in the workbook. Is that okay? So I've underlined it as usual. Next, if you simplify this, you're going to have this term, then these two will be distributed to this 5 and 9 using the law of indices. This is 5 over 9, the terms are being divided, so the power 2 will affect the 5, it will also affect the 9. I talked about that in question number 7, where we encountered simplification of initial expression in the previous video, so you can watch it to remind yourself of the law being used. That is law of indices here. So this is going to give us 5 squared will give us 25, 9 squared will give us 81. Then of course you bring down this term. Okay, we are moving on. This term was already provided in the workbook, so nothing to fill up. In the next step, you are required to fill up an empty box. This is equal to box plus log 32 over 243. Of course, on the condition that log n minus log n is going to be equal to, of course, you apply subtraction law of logarithm. So log m minus log n is equal to log, open bracket, m divided by n. We shall apply that to this part of this expression so that we get to fill up the next box in our next step. And of course, that's what I have here. This is going to be equal to, okay, so looking at this, applying subtraction law of logarithm, I'll pick one of the common logs. This is already logarithm to a common base. We can assume there's 10 there. So log of this number minus log of this number is going to be log this number divided by this number. So it's going to be something of this kind. 75 over 16. Okay, so it's going to be divided. Permit me to use this division sign. 25 over 81. That's according to subtraction law of logarithm applied to this. And so you expect to write that term in the box provided there. After that, we have plus log of this term, log 32 over 243. Good. So I'm going to underline this for you. This is the term that is expected to be in the space provided. Right, now we're going to move on to the next step. And the next step in your manual, you have log 75 over 16 times box. So you're expected to fill in the term that should be in the box, enclose the bracket, then plus log 32 over 243. How do you arrive at that? It's simple. This is going to be log. Now look at this term. You have a fraction. You are dividing it by another fraction. Dividing a fraction by another fraction, you're expected to change this division sign to multiplication and then inverse this fraction, turn it upside down. So already we have log, think of, log open brackets, then this term 75 over 16. Okay, so we are changing this multiplication to division, then inversing this term, 81 over 25. And so in your manual, you're expected to write the 81 over 25, okay, in the box provided. So this is being enclosed. I'm going to underline 81 over 25. Then of course this is going to be plus log 32 all over 243. We are moving on. In the next step, you have equal to box plus log 32 over 243. So we need to simplify this term to get the term that should be in the next box. And simplifying this, 25 can reduce. 25 divided 25 is 1. If 25 goes into 75, you'll get 3. So that this is now going to give us log. We have 3 times 81, and 3 times 81 is going to give us 243. All over 16 times 1, which will give us 16. This will be added to log 32 all over 243. And so we are expected to fix this. We are writing this in the box provided. We're writing that in the box provided, so you take note of that. I'm sorry, don't mind the lighting system. That's where we find ourselves, in our country. Okay, so we are moving on. After this step, we can now conclude. According to the manual here, we now have equal to box. Since log m plus log n is equal to log m times n. Of course, we are going to use addition law of logarithm here. And so this is going to give us, pick one of the logs. And then since you are adding this logarithm to this logarithm, they are in the same base. Pick one of the logs and then multiply this term. This is going to give us 243 all over 16. Okay, and then times 32 all over 243. Okay, so we have this. And then we can reduce terms. This 243, we cancel 243. 16, we divide itself to give us 1. 16 into 32 will give you 2. So that what we now have is simply log 2. And that, this term will be written in the brackets provided. Of course, there, we don't need to cancel anything. Are you following? But if you choose to cancel, no problem. Write this term. This whole term is meant to be in the space provided. And then if you want to reduce that, you can reduce. In conclusion, this whole term now is equal to log 2 if you simplify that. So according to what you have in the workbook. Please take note that the terms are underlined. Those are the terms you are meant to fill up in the space provided in the workbook. Alright, so we are done with this question number 8. We shall be moving on to question number 9.